Hi, this is Steven from Just Got Played, and today we're going to be unboxing and talking a little bit about Cascadia Landmarks, an expansion for Cascadia. So if you can see, the original Cascadia looks like this. It actually comes in the same size box, which is a little weird. Seems like that's probably a waste of space, and I think everything from there will fit in here. I guess we'll find out. You can see it's illustrated by Beth Sobel, who did also the original base game. All right. Here, look on the back contents. There's some new habitat tiles. Of course, there are the titular landmarks. And one of the more interesting things is the other game only plays up to 4 players, so this goes up to 5 or 6. Well, that's what's interesting to me about this anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and get this open and see what all comes in the box. So again, I typically have more than 4 people at my game nights. So Cascadia doesn't hit the table that often, but hopefully with this expansion, they will. All right, so we've got the rule book here. It explains what all the new components are, and we'll be talking about that. There's some rules for faster play where you get to have a set of tiles set aside at the beginning of the game that you can play. It talks about the new scoring cards and how they work. There's the landmarks, which we'll talk a little bit about, but as we pull them up. But essentially, you're creating sets of terrains and then collecting some of these cards, and they give you additional scoring options at the end of the game. So here's an example of scoring that. There's some scenarios and achievements, so I probably won't mess with this, but you can move up these tracks, and then there's stuff in here about the achievements. So if that interests you, take a look there, and then nothing really useful on the back of that. Sometimes you have cheat sheets and stuff, but I'm not sure this game actually needs any of that. All right, so let's see what all these things are called. So we got a bunch of different tiles here. These are the nature tokens, which are pine cones from cones from the Douglas fir, anyway. All right, so those just match what's in the base game, and I feel like those are the same component quality of what's in the base game, and I feel the same about these tiles, right? So you got a bunch of new tiles. They do have this symbol down here in the bottom to tell you that they are from the landmarks expansion if you ever want to sort them out, but you don't need to. You can just play even the base game without the landmarks with just these extra tiles in. So there are a bunch of new start tiles, right? So the start tiles, these all have 4 different terrains here. So you've got prairie, forest, mountain, like river or something, and then ocean. So one of them will be like a keystone tile with the nature token and a solid type of terrain, and the others will be divided up. Right. All right. So, and then here's a bunch of the other tiles. All right. Let's have a look here. I assume there's going to be about 5 of these. Here's the other starting tile. So this one, got some salmon up there. All right. All right, and then here are all the extra tiles that come in the game for that sheet. So this is sheet 2 out of 3A. The other one was 1 out of 3A. Here's 3 out of 3A. Oh, I guess there's 2 starting tiles on each one, or on some of them anyway. All right, so here's another one of the starting tiles and another one of the starting tiles. And again, that one's a little hidden. You can see the little landmark thing if you want to sort it out. And here's one of the new keystone tiles. Again, that's a little hidden in there, but there you go. All right, and so here's a bunch more tiles there, and still a bunch more of these nature tokens. All right, let's have a look in here. This is going to be standard stuff from the base game. So these are the animal tokens. You just need more animal tokens if you're going to play with more players. Hey, those are stuck together. All right, they came apart, no problem. So we got a bunch of those extra. Yeah, there wasn't a ton of wasted space in this box, so that's probably why they just used the same size box. All right, so here are the different landmark tokens. I'm just going to dump those out and pick some of those up. All right, so this is for the mountains. So as soon as you have an area that is 5 or more tiles, you can put this on the tile that you just placed, which means you can't put, an animal token on it. And also, if it had a nature token, you're not allowed to claim it. Anyway, you put that down, and then you choose one of the landmark cards. So we haven't seen the landmarks yet. So that is the mountains. This is the maybe this is the rivers, and this is the wetlands. Let's see, we got prairies here and forests, right? So those are the 5 different types. So you put one of these out for every player because every player can only do one of each type during the course of the game. So that's why there's 6 of each of those. And, I mean, there's nothing special. They're just sort of light, but, I like them. All right. We got some more scoring cards, which is nice. I never found there to be a problem in not having enough variety of scoring cards. I did have the extra scoring cards that were available during the Kickstarter. I got those separately as a promo. But here's even more if you want. And some of these maybe also correspond to the landmarks. I'm not sure. So here's a new grizzly bear one. There's another grizzly bear. And there's another. All right, now we're to the elks. So we've got 1, 2, 3 elks. I'm not going over these. You can just look in the rule book. Which is available online to download, or you can just pause the video if you want to take a look at any of these. But it looks like we've got 3 for each one of the animals. So here's your red-tailed hawk. That looks confusing, but I'm sure it's probably pretty simple. All right, red-tailed hawk. Oh, that's interesting. All right, and salmon. I like the art on these cards. Anyway. Okay, some more scoring pads. I guess this one has the landmarks in here for scoring, and it looks like they're double-sided, so that's nice. Plenty of those, at least for my purposes. And you can always laminate some of them. That's an easy way if you're running out to keep going, or I'm sure publisher probably sells additional pads if you need them. All right, so these are the landmarks, right? And so you put out a number of these per terrain type according to the number of players. So if you had 4 players, you'd put out 4 forest ones, and scores for each bear on a forest. So there you go. When you put down your 5th or more contiguous an area forest tile, you can choose one of these, and this is a scoring thing just for you. And at the end of the game, if you chose this one, you would score for each bear on a forest. All right, so let's take a look at all of them. There's elks on the forest, fox on the forest, hawk and salmon on a forest. All right, that's cool. And then they get a little more complicated, I guess. Unique wildlife in that corridor, etc. All right, so I'm just going to run through these. You can take a look at them. If you want, you can pause to take a closer look, or these might also be addressed in the rule book. I'm not entirely sure. Probably not. They are relatively simple. I mean, that one's just 3 points, right? You're taking 3 points. All right, and so here are some wetland ones. Let's see, that's 4. So we have more than 6, which is good. So you're going to get some variety, even in a 6-player game. And it looks like there's going to be 12, right? All right. And so here's the prairies. And the mountains. And most of the others are pretty simple. Like, hey, we're going to score for this type of thing. Yeah. In fact, I mean, they do basically. Most of them are just the same, just on a different type of terrain. So that's interesting. All right. And then here's the river. All right. All right. Yep, there you go. And, like I said, there's an insert in here, and I'm just going to end up recycling this box unless my kids want to repurpose it for something, because I am almost positive that everything fits in here in the base game box. But I guess I'm going to have to find out. But that is Cascadia landmarks. So again, I think the landmarks look sort of interesting. I don't think they're particularly a thing that you would focus on maybe for scoring purposes, but I'm interested to get them to the table. What I'm really interested in is being able to play this mostly at 5 players, but also at 6. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. Well, if you have any questions about Cascadia landmarks, I haven't gotten to the table yet, but I'll, do my best to answer them with what I know. So if you want, you can post that question in the YouTube comments below, or if you look in the description of this video, there is a link to our Discord channel. Feel free to come over there and discuss anything you want about board games with us. We'll be happy to talk to you. All right, but until the next time, thanks for watching.